All right, we're here. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? I'm dead inside. Let's talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the new Marvel product. Consume Marvel product. I consumed Marvel product on opening night. Now let's talk about my usual spiel about Marvel for the third time on this channel, shall we? My whole thing with Marvel, and has been for basically ever, to me, Marvel has never made a great film. Marvel has never made a great film, the MCU specifically. One can argue Into the Spider-Verse is a great film, and I wouldn't argue against them necessarily. But I have never seen a great film come out of the MCU. Over their entire tenure for the past 10, 13 years, whatever it's been, 15 years, they've just made mediocre films, and because they've never made bad films, the fanboys have shoveled the garbage directly into their mouth, being tricked at competent cinematography to make up for the fact that there's nothing really to these Marvel films whatsoever. They're fine, and that's cool, but there's nothing spectacular about them, but because these fans are so invested in the world of the Marvel universe superhero people, they can forgive just competent things, and they'll make up for that in their mind with this fan service that they're being provided, seeing their favorite superheroes on screen. So fine, cool, you get a mediocre product and you make a lot of fanboys happy. Cool, I get it. However, this is the second Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. Oh, by the way, when I said all Marvel movies, I've never seen a Marvel movie. Technically, I think Logan bangs too. That's besides the point. So in the past year, this is now, spoiler alert, the second bad Marvel movie that I've seen. I've talked about the first one on this channel. Thor: Love and Thunder is a bad film. And guess what? You saw how much I didn't like that one. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is far worse. Let's talk about the positives, shall we? Because we always want to get the positives out of the way. Jonathan Majors. That's it. Jonathan Majors is the only good thing about this film, because you got a Jonathan Majors with a sack over his head, walking around, not saying any dialogue, just in the background of screens, and he'd still somehow have the best performance of the film. Any film that he's in, especially this one. That's it. That's all I have positive to say about the film. Let's talk about the negatives. Oh my God, I would love to do that. That's what I've been waiting to do, of course. Remember, there was this tweet that I saw from somehow, because I retweet things about superhero movies and about how ridiculous they are, and about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson talking about how great Black Adam was and how it's bringing cinema back even though it's really bad. I've somehow stumbled my way upon superhero Twitter, or at least I did. I think I'm off of it now, thank the Lord. But anyways, there was this one tweet, like, I wish I had saved it, but it was like, man, Peyton Reed really saw y'all call him the least visually interesting filmmaker in the MCU and turned it up with this trailer. Peyton Reed sure turned it up. Peyton Reed turned up and said, let's make a fucking Shark Boy and Lava Girl sequel. How about that? Let's make the least visually interesting magnum opus that we could possibly make. Let's try and do Star Wars. Let's try and do Avatar. But instead of what makes those so real, the nature of it all, let's just make it space and goop and nothingness. It looks like a children's product. This is the closest thing that I've seen to a children's product from Marvel. It's goo goo gaga baby bullshit. It's garbage. And the fact that I haven't even looked at the budget because I don't want to know the budget of this. It's going to depress me so much. Primer was made for $7,000! Primer was made for $7,000, and this is how much? I don't know. I don't even know. But oh my God, what are you doing, Peyton Reed? Want to hear something funny? They're all over the place. I don't care. The writer, Loveless is his name. Don't remember the first one. We have, for the past 5 years, What are the two meta bullshit dialogue things that we always reference? We reference the MCU and we reference Rick and Morty. It was only a matter of time before one of the writers on Rick and Morty entered the MCU, and it was for this film. That's right. The sole writer of this movie is a writer on Rick and Morty. We are doomed. This is the apocalypse. We are all going to die. Do you realize what's going on right now? Here's my theory. My theory was that once Marvel started making bad movies, like actually bad movies, which I would consider this the worst movie that I've seen by them. Keep in mind, I haven't seen the first two Thor movies. Here they're pretty bad. I don't even think they could be as bad as this. It is horrible. If Marvel starts making these bad movies on a consistent basis, because you know what, if there's a mess up, like a Thor was a mess up early on in their catalog, Thor 2 was a mess up later on in their catalog, every company is allowed to slip up once in a while, but if they start to continuously make bad movies, I feel like this might finally be the end of our overlords, because the audience is finally going to realize, hey, we're kind of just being shoveled actual garbage into our mouths and we're not getting any real return on it. So what is going on here? You know, even at the beginning, the first Avengers wasn't technically that original of an idea for the film, no, but the idea of having all of these interwoven characters come together in a film and fight together is a pretty cool thing to do. Marvel has become so incredibly creatively bankrupt. What are we doing here? This is a baby movie. The daughter doesn't like that the dad isn't doing anything anymore. And don't even get me started on the characters, bro. Don't even get me started. His daughter, Michael Douglas, and Evangeline Lilly, this is all their fault. They at some point in the middle of the film, they try and give Michelle Pfeiffer's character a backstory and be like, oh, this is why I am the reason that Kang is the way that he is, that he's did this. No, bro, you said to your husband and your daughter, hey, maybe don't mess around with the quantum realm. You know, because maybe I was down there for a while. I might know something about that. And they were like, we'll take that into account. But also, how about we actively don't do what you say? Yes, the person that's been down there and knows everything there is to know about the quantum realm, who may want their privacy for any reason or another, but let's get mad at you for keeping that secret, but also let's teach the daughter of a man who is struggling as it is to have a relationship with her because of the lost time that they've had together. Let's add even more fuel to that fire and single-handedly possibly cause a conqueror to come to the world and destroy all these universes in the multiverse. Let's do that. That's a good idea. It's a good idea. You don't think it's a good idea? You don't think it's a good idea? Lame. No, yeah. So it's all their fault. And they could have, this whole film, which, by the way, spoiler alert, completely inconsequential. Nothing happens of importance in this movie. You could skip over this movie and nothing would have happened, at least in other than knowing about Kang. But if you read the comics, you already know about Kang, so there's no point in knowing about anything. Nothing happens. Nothing happens in this movie. Everything at the beginning of this movie is the same as at the end of the movie, basically. Unless you watch a post-credit sequence where Kang does some things and there are a bunch of him and whoa. Let's talk about other things that suck about this movie. I don't know. Can we go back to the CGI that looks horrible? It's not only like you have so much money at your disposal to make Avatar did it last year. Is Avatar a bad film? To me, Avatar 2, by the way, Avatar 1, better film. I'm kind of a fan of it. Is Avatar 2 a bad film to me? Yes. What's the one thing that it does great? It's gorgeous. The way that the people interact with their surroundings, it's amazing. At the beginning of every one of these films at the Regal, they have this sequence where they're like, actually, you know, the film was shot, there's like a surround screen thing where the environment is put on these screens around the actors and they act. We can tell that it looks that bad. It is one of, it's not just a, it's a bad, it's not just a bad looking Marvel movie, it's a bad looking movie. And the fact that there's over $100 million spent on this, I know there is. I'm not going to fact check that. There has to be. Man, let's talk about the performances. Other than Jonathan Majors, everyone else is dookie. Maybe it's because the dialogue is so bad, which, by the way, it is so bad. There is one of the points in the movie, one of the climactic points. One of the characters runs up and attacks the evil Kang and says, "I'm not a dick!" And that's the thing. And that's the thing that he yells as he's attacking Kang, the man who would very likely kill you. "I'm not a dick." Oh, okay, Marvel. Woo! Give it up for Marvel, everyone. They know what they're doing. You know, I really try to avoid calling like, if you like what you like, totally fine. And I try to avoid calling, although despite the countless times I've been proven right on this, I like to avoid calling MCU fans like man children. But if they are a fan of this, they are man children. This is a movie made for literal babies, visual stimulants that don't look good. There's just a lot of it. Therefore, some people who are younger can be tricked into thinking it looks good, when in all reality, there's just a lot of what it is. Ant-Man in the Wasp, Quantumania is a terrible film. One of the worst films I've seen this year. It's not worse than Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, but it's pretty bad. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm gonna give Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania a 2 out of 10, and you better be lucky that you got Jonathan Majors in your movie, or else it would be a 1 out of 10. It would be a 1 out of 10. Do you realize I have never given a Marvel movie less than a 3 out of 10? And if Jonathan Majors, he wasn't here to save some artistic integrity or just in filmic integrity, it doesn't have to be artistic. Movies don't all have to be art. Movies can be fun. Movies can be enjoyable. Any filmic, this wouldn't be a movie if Jonathan Majors wasn't in it. So yeah. Oh, there's a Bill Murray cameo, and it's so funny, even though all of the things that he's allegedly done wrong on sets is so funny, because Bill Murray is old, and he's like funny in movies, and there's a reason for him to be in there. He really fits the character that he's in there. He's not just in there because he's Bill Murray. No, it's fun. 1 out of 10. It's not 1 out of 10. I'm sorry, it's a 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 is really, really bad. Really not good. Really not good. So yeah, that's it for this. I'll probably come out with a Cocaine Bear review next week. Still working on that BoJack Horseman video. That'll be fun. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will talk to you in the next one. Goodbye.